the third preview of the season, everybody. They're coming round quick. Hang on, that shirt looks terrible. That shirt looks dodgy. There we go. That is a little bit better, I hope, but I'm just out of focus. First time of the season, I suppose, and, well, first of many. Come on. Yes, there we go. That's the one. That's the one. How are we all doing? How are we all doing? Looking forward to this. Looking forward to this. Should be good. Should be good. High shocks, but then we've got melon, egg, apple, strawberry toast. Not sure what any of that means. Evening, Jensen. Evening, Harvey. Evening, Jeff. Gaming with Logan. Thank you. Good evening. Right then. Let's not waste any time. What a day. What a day this has been. Transfer related. Now, I'm not talking about Harry Kane. I'm not talking about Moises Caicedo. I'm talking about Scott Twine. Oh, yes. Ollie says he can't watch because he's going mad in Magaluf. Well, I believe that, mate. I believe that one. Congrats on 3K. Thank you, mate. It happened a while ago. Thank you. Evening, Ashley. Hope England doesn't have 90% of our possession tomorrow. He won't do. He won't do. We'll have rectified that issue, found a solution, and we will be fine. Transfer news. Scott Twine is coming in! A year too late. But that's not the point. Arjun teased in the Kingston suite at the back end of last season that there was a player who we were close to spending big money on last season. Very, very, very close to signing. Well, no, not very, very close. Still interested in the project and what was going on at the MKM. The identity of said player was kept deep, deep, deep under wraps until today, where Mike White, sports editor at BBC Radio Humberside, tweeted, X'd or whatever it is, and I quote, understand Hull City are hopeful of finalising a loan for Burnley's Scott Twine in the coming days. In for him before opting for the Clarets, but told he's given every indication he wants to make this move. Further talks to take place over the weekend. And then an additional note to this, Scott Twine is not in the matchday squad for Man City's game against Burnley. The season opener, the Premier League opener. Bodes well, doesn't it? And then Baz Cooper hopped on and said, look, yeah, this is the guy Ajun was on about. This is the guy Ajun was on about. And it's been worked on so much throughout the summer. And they've had to keep it so quiet. But here we are. Scott Twine will come in. Before the end of the window, we want 5 players in. A goalkeeper, a defensive midfielder, an attacking midfielder, and 2 wingers. Right? Goalkeeper, the identity, we don't know at the moment. Although today, in the last hour, we have been linked with Rangers goalkeeper, Robbie McCrory. But Man United and the Polish champions, Rakov Shekstachova, are also interested in him. So I doubt that will happen. But the Daily Record have reported that, and they got Greg Docherty right coming down to us from Scotland before. So hopefully that's the one. Because then it just puts an end to the saga. Although Baz Cooper did say we are expecting a breakthrough on a goalkeeper in this coming week, in between Sheffield Wednesday and Blackburn. It's the way it's going at the minute. We can expect that to happen, but also anything can happen. So don't hold your breath. Basically, the defensive midfielder front, we're looking at Max Bird still. We've put a third bid in, but apparently Bristol City have also put a bid in. So there's going to be a bit of a bidding war going on there. And if I'm honest, with Bristol City interested, they've just got a load of money in for Alex Scott. They'll be able to spend a lot more on Max Bird than we will, especially if we want to get other targets in too. And then two wingers, one on loan and another on a permanent. The top loan target has been reported as Jesserin Raksaki, and on loan from Crystal Palace. That is one I would adore because he smashed it at Charlton last year. And the permanent winger is one who Baz Cooper knows the identity of, but in order to not bring in a load of interest from other clubs, that one is being kept very quiet for the good of the football club until it is more or less done. And I think it speaks volumes about the Twine deal that it's been allowed to be made public. Because that must mean that City are very confident in getting this done and that it's all almost agreed. I got in a bit of hot water on Twitter earlier because someone tweeted announce Twine 10 minutes after the news broke. And I tweeted the announced tweets have already started. And then people saying, do you not want an announcement? Bit condescending of you, lighten up. But right, I see those points of view. However, I think it is too early to jump on the announced tweets because Mike's report only stated that the club were hopeful of completing a deal in the coming days. That suggests the deal isn't done yet. So nagging for an announcement is pointless because it's not at a stage where it can be announced yet. Yeah. So it's coming along. It's moving along nicely. Hopefully. Anyway, would I take Dan Everson? Yes, I would. Leicester, have got 4 goalkeepers. Everson, Ward, Hermansen, and Alex Smithies. They don't need all 4. Let's have a little look further up then, shall we? Ingram shouldn't be blamed for Doncaster. I agree. Grant McCann did have us sussed. He did very well there. Loan to buy for Twine? We don't know just yet. I suppose that depends how Burnley do in the Premier League this year as well. Because if they stay up, which I think they will, and they keep hold of all the players they've brought in, they won't need Twine, but dropping down into the Championship, they might do. Twine wrote a player. We've touched on Raksaki. Open training session was great. Have to play Oscar, but equally we have to play the lap, and I would say the lap over Oscar. Now then, Leo, early finish from work, lovely. By the way, if anyone has a go at Wilkes, come and find me, and I'll explain why he's the goat. Leo, she was very pleased in finding out the painting was done. That's what I'll say. Do you think we'll get 5 transfers in? Yes. Are we not getting a new goalkeeper now? Ingram wasn't rubbish on Tuesday, Caelan. He can't be blamed for the fact he had no movement. And look, things take time. Obviously, Darlow was the main target. That's clear. But that one didn't happen for wage reasons. And now we have to reassess and moving parts. Apparently, we were interested in Kovar from Man United. He's got to buy a Leverkusen for 9 million. There's no way we are ever competing with that 9 million money in the Bundesliga. No way. But hopefully, as reported, we'll have a bit of a breakthrough in this next week. I do think we'll get 5 transfers in. I spoke to Marcus at football on Tuesday. My dad said Joe was fuming, wasn't he? He said, yeah. Fuming about Doncaster and Norwich. I was livid. Don't let Maka have the armband again. From my POV, it was taking too long to release. I see that, but Ingram was also expecting players to be moving for him, and he didn't have that. So, and then every time he booted it long, we lost the ball anyway. Both goals at Norwich came from us booting the ball long, losing the ball, and then it came back to bite us. So keeping hold of the ball and building from the back is the best way to go. Guaranteed. How much money do you reckon we'll have to spend? Not a clue. But enough to get 5 transfers in. Goalkeeper probably on loan. Bird, Twine, and a winger permanently, plus Raksaki on loan as well. In terms of outgoings, Ryan Longman is yet to make a decision on whether he's going to go out on loan to Fatih Karagümrük in Turkey. I assume he'll make that in the next few days, but he has been training with the group. He was sat behind the dugout on Wednesday. He was training Thursday, Friday. Doncaster play Everton in the next round of the Cup. Yes, they do. Leo, good now. She just has to be impressed with Marcus. Oh, Christ. Not going to happen. Signed Son. I don't think that one's going to happen financially, Caelan. I'll be honest with you, mate. On to some less positive news, team news. Harry Vaughan, ankle, and Ruben Vinagre, thigh, touch and go after picking up knocks versus Norwich and Doncaster, respectively. Alias Syed Manesh, calf. Dokan Sinek, shoulder. Matty Jacob and Greg Doherty, both knee, are the only other absentees. Dodo's had a shoulder setback. Only a minor setback, but a setback nonetheless. Aliyah is getting closer, but he's not there just yet. Doc is still 3 or 4 weeks away. Harry Vaughan and Ruben Vinagre, if they're not fit for tomorrow, they'll be fit for Saturday next week against Blackburn. Yeah. The bad news. Oh, yeah. Malik Wilkes is injured and he might not get the MKM homecoming he has probably been craving. Yeah. He's only started 5 games for Sheffield Wednesday since he left us a year ago because he's been plagued by injuries last season under Darren Moore, in pre-season as well under Xisco Munoz. He was on the bench last week in the season opener against Southampton, but he was left out of their Carabao Cup squad and he's touch and go for the weekend. Rated touch and go by Xisco Munoz. Dishon Bernardo is fit and he will get the homecoming. Will Henry Sandat make the bench? Possibly. Martin's friend Martin. Hope you're all right, mate. Thank you for your support. Do I think Dino will be there? Yes, I do. To quote Jeremy Clarkson, oh no, Ashley, it's not oh no. Anyway, I'll have you know. Because, right, this season, on top of my City cards, which I've made great progress on already, by the way, look at how good they look. I've also done ex-player cards. And I've got 3 for Malik Wilkes to sign. That cost me £1.70. Not happy to get those 3 done. And he's not going to be there Fuming. Absolutely fuming. Gutted. Shall we give Tim a go? No, I'd rather have Ingram's experience. As much as I love Tim, I'd rather have Ingram's experience. And I think as soon as this goalkeeper deal is done, Tim will be out on loan. Fair enough. Yeah, it's gutting news, actually. I shall have to give them to Leo when he inevitably goes to a Sheffield Wednesday game at some point to see him. Apart from Vaughan, who do you think is our best prospect for the future? I've heard good things about Sandat. Jarvo, Will Jarvis is good. Harry Woods smashing it out at Shelburne. Alfie Taylor's a good centre-half. Jevon Mills is a good centre-half. I love Ollie Green to pieces. He's a great player and a lovely guy as well. Raj Pallet is a really nice lad. I was sat in a sauna with him for 15 minutes on Wednesday. What a guy. Jimmy Sims, I like. Yeah. We've got a lot, but very few of them, sadly, will slip through the net. But Raj did say to me that seeing what Harry's done in terms of coming in and breaking straight through, being their age, gives them such confidence that it is possible and it's not a closed shop. And Liam said to me himself that he wants a smaller first team squad to allow for these young players to come up and train with the group and be involved with the first team, which didn't happen last season because we signed so many. The under-21s playing at Ferriby again this year. Yes, they are. Their first game at Ferriby. Let me get my diary out. You see, I've got too much going on this year with YouTube, football, under-21s, plus other responsibilities at college as well, on top of my A-levels. I've had to invest in a paper diary. Otherwise, it just wouldn't happen. Simple as. The first game at Ferriby for the under-21s is on Tuesday, the 26th of September, kicking off at 7 o'clock at home to Coventry City, under-21s. But the under-21s just generally get their season underway on Tuesday, kicking off at 2 o'clock at the MKM against Charlton. The following week, no game. But then the week after that, on Wednesday the 30th at 1 p.m, the under-21s play Millwall at the MKM before going away to Swansea. Then on Saturday the 9th, back home at the MKM against Bournemouth. And then they play the home game against Coventry at Ferriby after that. And then they've got a couple of home games in the Premier League Cup scheduled in at home as well. A couple, I think 2 at Ferriby, 1 at the MKM. And then they've got a couple of games at the MKM towards the end of this season as well. Looking sort of end of March, early April through April sort of time. Yeah. Leo, don't humour Marcus. Please don't humour Marcus. Forgot to tell anyone I was in the new Tiger Leisure in St Stephen's with my mate, and the code on the shirt takes to the city website and starts blasting the New Era music. Should we try this? Because I've scanned it before, and it's just taken me to an error page. Yeah, it's a thank you for your support message, and it's advertising more memberships, which I thought it was going to be somewhat cooler than that, I will be honest. Benjamin Tete, I forgot to mention him in transfers as well, didn't I? Benjamin Tete, did well, but he just wasn't robust enough. Am I going to be at Ferriby? I'll try and get to as many of those games as I can, of course. Yeah. Should we move on? I've done a lot of talking there. I suppose it is my preview after all. Ref watch. Let's get motoring through some of this now. The referee is Matthew Donoghue. 2 liners are Paul Hodgkinson and Mark Russell. The 4th official is Benjamin Speedy. Speedy. Oh, we love a bit of Speedy. I know a lad who we nicknamed Speedy. What a guy. What a guy. If he's watching, Speedy, hope you're well, bud. Right, let's move on. Stats taken from the game against Doncaster. I've had to get them from Google because City's website didn't provide me with anything. Possession looks good. Passes look good. Pass accuracy looks great. But then you look at the shots. No way did we have 11 shots, by the way. If we did have 11 shots, at least 100% of them came in the first 15 minutes. Yeah, what a farce. We move on. We don't talk about that. We're not dwelling on it. It happened. It's in the past. Don't care. Simple. Few, not the ref, banished to Anlaby. Sweepstake on added time. 5, 7, 9, 12. I'll go with 7. I'll go with 7. Let's move on to head where we'll have a look at Sheffield Wednesday's team. Obviously got promoted last season. In goal, we'll go to their game against Southampton, where I think there will be a few changes though. They had Cameron Dawson in goal. Their defence, well, they had Callum Patterson at right back, who can literally play anywhere, so that's fair enough. The defence, they had Iorfa Ihekwe and Famewo, their back 4. Dishon Bernard on the bench. He did start in midweek for them. Their midfield was Will Volks and Tyreek Bakinson. On the wings, they went for Josh Windass and Juan Delgado. And then up top, they had Barry Bannon. They had Barry Bannon in the number 10 role, supporting Lee Gregory. Ashley Fletcher came off the bench. I think Anthony Musaba will start tomorrow. Michael Smith could be involved. No Mal, which is a shame. Then they've obviously brought in Bambo Diaby, and they've signed another Diaby today as well, Momo Diaby, who's a midfielder, an industrious midfielder. He'll be wearing number 44 tomorrow, so he could prove to be an asset for the Owl Shaggers. For the people in chat, what are your opinions on Wilkes? Be nice. Right, Caelan and Ashton are having a bit of a fight, so we'll just leave them two to it. We'll focus on Leo asking for opinions on Malik Wilkes. While we do that, we'll go over the recent form of these two teams. So, window. We'll have a look at Sheffield Wednesday's first. They won on penalties in the Cup against Stockport after losing to Southampton on the opening day. We lost to Doncaster in the Cup after losing to Norwich on the opening day. That was nice and quick. I love that. Yeah, I love that. He's mid. Traitor. Shotter wanted him out, mate. I wouldn't exactly call him a traitor for that. Anyway, league table, there ain't much to show. But we are 17th. Sat above the Wednesdayites, though, so that's good. Yeah, looking to get some points on the board this time around. The other fixtures going on that day. Well, on this match day, we've got tomorrow 12:30 kickoff, a repeat of the playoff semi-final last season, Coventry versus Middlesbrough. 3 o'clock kickoffs tomorrow. All the rest of the games are, and they shape up as follows: Huddersfield Town versus Leicester City, West Brom versus Swansea, Watford versus Plymouth Argyle, Southampton versus Norwich, Rotherham versus Blackburn Rovers, Preston North End versus Sunderland, Millwall versus Bristol City, Ipswich Town versus Stoke City, us versus Sheffield Wednesday, Cardiff versus QPR, and Birmingham City versus Leeds United. Memorable match. It's only ever going to be one, innit? Diaby! 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 Come on. Come on. We saw you crying on Wembley Way. Oh, what a day. What a day. 70,000 in Wembley. But there were over 1 million Sheffield Wednesday fans in there, apparently. Yeah. Bobby Madley was the referee. But 72nd minute goal from Mo Diame was the difference. Our team that day was Eldin Jakupovic in goal. The back four was Moses Odebajo, Curtis Davis, Michael Dawson, the captain, and at left back Andy Robertson. Midfield four of El Mohammadi on the right. Central midfield two of Livermore and Huddleston with Snodgrass on the left, and then Diame behind Abel Hernandez. The bench, Dusan Kushak, the goalkeeper, Alex Bruce, David Myler, Sam Clucas, Harry Maguire, Sean Maloney, and Chuba Akpom as well, with Steve Bruce in charge. Very, very even game. But as Bruce described it at the time, the goal was a wonder goal. Oh, yeah. What a day. What a day. What a day. What a day. City top half incoming. I hope so, Logan. I'm going to boo him, Wilkes, every time he gets the ball. Well, Dean, he's injured, so he won't get on the ball at all. Wilkes was made. Leo says to Dean, every time I see you, I'll do the same. 6-0 City. Diame. What have I just had? Bashon, not as good as Windass' goal. Better goal, Windass or Diame. Diame's goal was better, but Windass's goal was more historic. That's my fence sitting. It's going to be busy in Hull tomorrow with the session. By KR, if KR are playing, it won't be busy because they're down at Wembley, and a lot of fans will have gone. Last one out of East Hull will have turned the lights out, as that sign was written on the bonus arena, or as it's now called, Connexin Live, whatever. Don't care. Bonus arena was better. Yeah. Anyway, last time out, it was a long time ago. Long time ago, this one. New Year's Day 2020 at Hillsborough, and we will play them on New Year's Day 2023 New Year's Day 2024 at Hillsborough as well. We won 1-0. Jared Bowen scored what I believe was his last ever goal in black and amber that day to give us a 1-0 win. The team, George Long in goal. The back four was Eric Lehigh, the captain at left back. Two centre-halves, Jordi Device and Reece Burke. And at right back, Matthew Pennington. Central midfield three for Grant McCann was Dan Batty, Jackson Irvine and George Honeyman, with Bowen and Grzycki on the wings and Tom Eaves up top. The bench was Matt Ingram, the goalkeeper, Ryan Tafazoli, Robbie McKenzie, Josh Bowler, Brandon Fleming, King Lewis Potter, and Leo da Silva Lopez as well. Moses Odebajo, former Tiger, on the bench for Sheffield Wednesday that day. Could have done him for shared shirts. I haven't. I've gone for someone very, very obscure instead. And not Malik Wilkes or Deshaun Bernard, because I can't be asked to edit it every time we play them so that it's right. So I'm just going to wait until they've both left to use them when we play Sheffield Wednesday. Attendance I reckon attendance will be like 19,000, because a lot of fans will have gone down to Wembley with Hull KR. So, yeah, I think it'll be about 19,500, whereas we could maybe be expecting 22, 23. But fans, I think, will go down to KR naturally, because it's not every day you get to watch a team you love at Wembley. Right, on that note, shared shirts. I have gone for a man some of you might not have even heard of, depending on your age, Stephen Bywater. I could have done him for Doncaster, but I went for Malik Wilkes instead. But I've done him for this. Stephen Bywater signed for us on loan from West Ham in the 1999-2000 season. Made 5 appearances for us. Naturally didn't score because he's a goalkeeper. In 2011, he joined Sheffield Wednesday, initially on loan, and he made 38 appearances for them, joining them permanently and seeing his time at Hillsborough come to a close in 2013. Could have picked Odebajo, but I went for someone obscure because that's a bit me. 200, less than 200 seats left in the lower bowl, but memberships obviously count already, and people will be going down who have got memberships naturally because people can support two sports, I suppose. Still a predicted team then. I think Rosenior will revert to a 4-3-3 of sorts. In goal, Matt Ingram. Right back, the captain, Louis Coyle. Two centre-halves, Alfie Jones and Jacob Greaves. At left back, Brandon Fleming, I think, will come in. Holding midfield will be Jean-Michel Seri. Central midfield, Ozan Tufan and Regan Slater. On the right, Jason Lekilo will make his league debut. On the left, I think Harry Vaughan will be fit enough. And up top, Liam Delap. On the bench, Timothy Lotatala, Sean McLaughlin, Adama Traore, Xavier Simons, Oscar Estupinian, Andy Smith, Vaughan Colville, Cyrus Christie, and Aaron Connolly. I'll just talk you through my thinking a little bit. Vinagre, not fully fit yet. So I don't think Rosenior will take the risk of playing him because we want him fit long term. Adama will be dropped to the bench, I think, because he's had a fragmented pre-season and did a stint on Tuesday. So I think he'll come off the bench with maybe 20 minutes to go. I think Harry will be fit enough. I think Jason impressed the other night to warrant coming in. Fleming will replace Vinagre, and then Coyle will come in for Christie. We'll keep his place in the league for Christie. Yeah. That's my thinking. Let me know your thoughts and pop your score predictions in chat as well. Why not? Pop your score predictions in chat. Got a couple coming in now. All right. 1-0 says Catherine. 3-2 City says Kalen. David thinks it'll be a tight game. Shock says 5-3. Ashley says Slater will score the only goal of the game to win it for us. David says 1-1 or 2-1 win for City. 3-0 Sheffield Wednesday. Windass hat-trick, says Ashton. Not going to happen. Josh Windass has never, ever set the world alight in the Championship. And as Ashley says, he's well out of his depth on the wing. Jeff says 3-2, last-minute City winner. Mark says 1-1. Kalen says 3-2 City with a scrap at the end. For me, I've got a good feeling. I think we'll see a response. 2-0 win. Goals, Liam Delap and Regan Slater. Thank you for watching, everyone. Hopefully, by this time next week, when I'm doing the preview for Blackburn, I will have some new signings to add into my predicted lineup. Scott Twine, come on. Ashley was on about Traore. Well, it also fits for Traore, doesn't it? Well, on that note, take care, everyone. See you all later. And yeah, up those bloody Tigers!